So apparently, I couldn't do this in just a normal post. Because I feel like there's more to it. So this is always an interesting topic, especially with this month being Pride Month. And so I was going through this Bible study on Philippians. And in my notes, because I did write some notes about it, because this is where discernment comes in. So in Philippians, fighting with faith. So in between, in Philippians 1, 9 through 11, Paul is talking about love multiply toward the Lord and each other. Paul also pairs this love with knowledge and discernment. So knowledge here refers to spiritual truth, a deeper understanding of God and His ways. Discernment refers to the wisdom to make the right choice and to conduct ourselves in a way that honors the Lord. Love is rooted in the knowledge of God. The more we grow in our knowledge of Him, the greater we grow in our love for Him. And this love does not stay within, but flows out of us to others. But we also need to discern how to love people rightly. Discernment allows us to examine our motives and actions and assess if we treat others in a God-honoring way. So, knowledge and discernment, the ability to choose what is best. Choose godly actions that result in a faithful relationship with God and others. So, with knowing that, it's our actions should follow with the love for God and the knowledge and creating discernment to know how to act in love with others. So this month being Pride Month, this topic can be interesting because it's and I need to find the verse, but it's just God, we weren't created to have relationships with the same sex. God created male and female, and they would join together. In Genesis 1, I think it's in Genesis 1 or Genesis 2, where the man will leave his mother and father and join with the woman, and then they two will become one. It's not female with female, male with male. It's male and female will become one. That was the original design for us. God's original intent when He created humans, and that's how procreation can come about too. Is because a woman and a woman cannot come together and multiply, or male with male. It's male and female. And so that was God's intention, His original design. And so, but it's just the question is, it is not God's intention, God's design, and God's plan. And so, how can we love with our actions, even though, you have, I met a gal in a networking group, and she had a wife, and she made it to where it was kind of how we are. It's with me, it's oh, my husband and I are going on vacation next month, like that, just simple as that. Or that's how she brought up with oh, my wife and I blah 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 blah, whatever, however she phrased it, did it in the conversation. So oh, she has a wife, and so she created create the environment like this is normal, this is natural, this is life. But at the same time, it's just like, but I do not approve of your action, even though I love you as a person, as a friend, but I don't approve of your actions because they're not God honoring. So it's just like, so in this case that was brought up right now in my life, it's like I was been part of a women's, it's more business focused, women, entrepreneur women, community that, you know, like the gals that lead it, do workshops, trainings, you know, events that support women in business, and they only do women, which I love. I feel like there should be more of these of just exclusively for women, and all the teachers, you know, the speakers are women, and so it's a safe environment for that. And so anyway, so found out, I don't even know, maybe, I think it was actually last year, found out, maybe this time last year, when I found out the gal that she's the founder and CEO of this community business, that she is bi, and she got married, I think, last year too, to a man. But she's very supportive of this month. And so anyway, so it's kind of like that weird, and I think they even like came out with the emails saying, you know, basically it's like, I mean, they're even facing like the challenge of like that transgender or whatever, of like, okay, I'm a male, born a male, but I relate to a woman. You know, like, how do you deal with those situations? And so they were fine with that. It's like, no, this is exclusively for women. So it's just like they even have some battle with that. But regarding with just June being Pride Month, they sent out this email saying celebrating with pride. So this is not the CEO, but this was emailed out not by the CEO, but another lady in manager, the communication manager. So I know that the CEO of it supports this, knowing her background. But anyway, so the email says this: it's Pride Month, and this year it feels a little different, where Pride was openly celebrated and accepted in recent years. This year is less open and less accepting. Anti-LGBTQIA voices and legalization are louder and more public. I recently unfriended someone on social media because they posted a comment that said, "I'll be glad when June is over so that all this gay and trans BS can be out of my face." Then the email goes on. There was another comment from someone I went to school with a picture of the American flag that said, I hear it's Pride Month, so I'm flying my pride flag. Not hate speech, but not the point either. And in May 2023, Anheuser-Busch's stock dropped 20% after signing a transgender spokesperson in their partnership with Dylan Mulvaney, a transgender influencer and activist. During Pride Month, there are a lot of celebrations, awareness, marches, and positive progress toward equality and equality in the LGBTQIA community. But unfortunately, this is when a lot of hate surfaces too. As a queer-owned and operated organization, and frankly, a decent human beings at this organization. We are here to support diverse and minority voices within our community, as well as in the greater community at large. We're going to make a post on social media on the last day of June to show us your pride. Share all of your pictures, highlights, and celebrations from this year's Pride Month. We want to see as many posts, comments, and pictures from all the positive you have seen, shared, or experienced during this year's Pride Month. We know this community is full of advocates, allies, and LGBTQIA people, and how beautiful will be to see all that love and support come together in one place. Look for the photo posts and our positive pride posts on social media this February, June 30th, and share your stories with us. This organization will also have a booth at the Fort Collins, the City Pride in the Park event. Pierce with Pride. Come celebrate with us and stop by our booth on Saturday, July 15th between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Civic Center Park in Fort Collins. Love, and then it has a picture. Yeah, so anyways, it's like, because of this email, it's like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, Sally, I understand this person, you know, like, okay, they support, like, too many people that are against this community show in their actions, in their actions they come across in a negative way, which is wrong. But on the other side, it's like, you know, like, how, like, the question is, like, on our side, it's like, how in our actions saying that this LGBT, I mean, this is wrong. I mean, like, we're not created for this. But that doesn't mean that I shouldn't be acting in love. Like, having that right discernment with our action, the right discernment that our actions are not so loving, even though we're voicing saying, I do not support this. But on the other side with them, it's just like, you know, I don't know if I this month I just post some pictures of, like, the rainbow. Like, I support the rainbow. The rainbow was, you know, the rainbow flag, whatever, that this community's, you know, the flag, their flag, the pride flag. It's like, the original rainbow is the rainbow in the sky, promising that God will never flood the earth. So I promote that rainbow. So that on my if you're friends with me, I did I think 3 posts of, you know, the rainbow, but associate as the rainbow in the sky. In that way, that format, not like the flag, like this community do it. Because it's like, it is kind of hard. It's like showing your support in this way. Like, this is what I believe in. I do not believe in this, but doesn't mean that I don't love these people. Like this guy, the owner. So it's like, even though she supports this personally, but now I'm like at the point where it's like, well, since it's her organization is supporting this community, now I feel like you're supporting a community that I don't support. So now I feel like I can't support you. Like, I feel like I'm coming to that. It's just like, yeah, you do, like, this gal, that did this, like, if you're unfriending these people that don't agree with this community, and then that means I have to leave your group because of the same reasons. If that makes sense. And so it is I really like, when I found this girl, like, I know this is not a Christian base, and so that's where, like, when it's not Christian, you have to be, your guard has to be up for things like this. And so, like, really hurts me. I guess that's my issue right now. It really hurts me when I've been part of a community like this for years. I've been here for almost over 4 years, almost 5 years. And now it's come to this, to where it's just like, just because of this issue, I can't be part of this community that I fell in love with. And so I kind of want your guys's feedback, your guys' experiences, your thoughts. It's a discussion about your guys' interaction with this community, this Pride Month, and how are you with your actions showing your, creating discernment to show your love in your actions, but still having your guard up so that you're not being vulnerable for yourself personally. Like you're loving the person, but yet you're creating boundaries against this community in the right ways. So yeah, comment, and I would love your feedback, your insight, your experience. And if you need help with it, and this is what this group is about, this is what this post is about, please, I would love to have this kind of dialogue discussion, just like I've posted about before about the alcohol thing. It's a discussion. Everyone's in their own, coming from their own experience, their own viewpoint. So I love your thoughts and experiences to come forth and having an honest discussion. So thank you, ladies, for being part of this community. And here at All, we are huge on making sure that we live our faith daily.